Jed, what's your thoughts on the Warriors right now? Bad slump, or are you concerned for this team long term that they've been exposed a little bit?
Uh, all I'll say is strength in numbers doesn't work when the numbers aren't toeing the line. Um, Great starts to the season, but they need Steph Curry. Steph Curry hasn't even played like at Steph Curry level this year, but they just need what he brings to the table. The threat he is from three really opens up the game for other players like Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's come back down to earth. Kaminga, he's actually playing really good recently, but it hasn't been enough. Pominski, what happened to him shooting like eight threes a game and that really changing the game for the Warriors? He's been just a really, he's been almost a negative for this team. But
Oh, he's terrible. Yeah, shooting wise, he's terrible.
this is actually still higher than I assumed the Warriors were going to be this year. So to me, I still believe this is probably the higher end of their potential, but it's worrying to see them lose so many games in a row. But also slightly enjoyable at the time. They have insane defense though. Like
Yeah,
that's one thing you can't take away from this team. Insane high IQ defense. Like just they stay in every single play. They make multiple efforts. I wonder whether that's just Draymond Green's impact on the team. Like he's always been a high IQ defense guy and always been the motor defensively for a team. But if you don't score points at the end of the day, you're not going to win games.
yeah. Defensively, I think they've same thing as the Orlando Magic that I always say. They always have that. This season, they've got that defense that they can fall back on, and even you see that OKC game that they had the other day. There was like what a 3 minute stretch that neither team scored, and that's two of the top defenses in the league. So they've got that defense that they can fall back on. However, the problem is they just can't score very well right now. Buddy Hield, the guy who was lighting the world on fire in that first stretch of the season, he, as you said, has fallen and he's come back to earth like crazy. Pozimski, oh my lord. I think I heard something that he's one of probably the worst shooter, I think, for a certain amount of attempts in the NBA right now from three. It is terrible. Like he is holding them back. He's being an anchor on that team offensively because he can't shoot. He's trying to shoot as well, and it's just hurting that team offensively. So I think they just need to get back into a position where they can find that offensive rhythm. I think this bad run has sort of coincided with Steph Curry missing games. He's been in and out the lineup, and when he's been in, he just hasn't, looked as fluid or as normal as Steph Curry usually does, giving us those 25 points per game. So Steph Curry, I think, just needs to get healthy, get into a good run of play again, and I think you can see this team shine because defensively, the defense is there. It's just offensively, and it all starts with who? The greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. So once he's back in the lineup, fully healthy, play a string of games, get back to the flow of things, I think they can, steady the ship again. I have them at the beginning of the season. I didn't have them making the playoffs, but after what I've watched, I have them making the playoffs. So I think, in my opinion, I think the Warriors will be a top six seed. No player needed.
Yeah, one thing we didn't touch on, Andrew Wiggins. He's actually played good as well this year. So it's not like they're not getting good production from certain players. They just need overall those key guys that they were relying on coming to the year to take a little bit of a step up. Completely agree though. I see this team being a playoff team. I'm less worried about the Warriors than I am about the Lakers.